Hi, Trevor here, Life Reflection Requests. Welcome and thank you for stopping by. Well, yes, this channel has received another request. In fact, I was talking to a guy and he said, "Have you done a video for this guy yet?" I had an interview for him the other day and I was a bit intrigued. I thought, well, no, I haven't. So here's the opportunity to do one. So Vincent Damien Fernier was born in 1948 in Detroit, Michigan. Now, he started out his career with a band called the Earwigs in 1964. Now, this guy is still going, so he's been around for a while. The band was the Earwigs, and they were to change their name into the name that this guy would adopt for his solo career. And between 1969 and 1973, these guys actually released 7 albums. That's a pretty amazing effort. Pretty busy, I'm thinking. But around 1975, this guy decided to go out on his own, and it was through his opening album, Welcome to My Nightmare, that the world met Alice Cooper. Now, Vincent is the girl guy's name, but he adopts the name Alice Cooper when he's on stage, and that's very much what he is known as. Now, Alice Cooper is regarded as the godfather of shock rock. So when you go into one of his shows, he's really whisking you away into another world where there's snakes and guillotines, and he does fake his death from time to time, and it looks like there's blood spurting everywhere. He's just kind of got that way about him. Now, deep down inside Vincent or Alice, he's quite a nice guy, actually. He just adopts this persona when he's on stage because he wants to give his audience he wants to give them a show, not just a concert, but a show. And so he goes all out to do that. Now, between 1975 and 2021, he has released 21 studio albums. So that's, if you include the previous band, that's 28 albums he's been part of, 48 singles, and 21 compilation albums, been some videos in there, and also some movie television performances as well. It's estimated that he sold over 50 million albums, so relatively successful in the scheme of things. And I would put this guy, particularly the way that his concerts are, in the distinctive category. There is no one else quite like this guy in the music industry, so very much distinctive. This guy's got a pretty incredible voice as well. His music can be pretty heavy. He's got influences of pop rock, art rock, hard rock, heavy metal, new wave, and glam metal. Of course, to be able to carry some heavy songs like that from those genres, you've got to have a pretty good voice to be able to cut it. And of course, he's got some pretty amazing musos on stage with him. The shredders of lead guitar, the drums, just the whole thing. There's got to be a lot of people on stage with him to get his sound to work, and there's no problems there at all. Now, I first met Alice Cooper through the song Poison. Now, I didn't quite think the lyrics were the best on that one, but yeah, so I thought I'd go to try and find a song that really typified Alice Cooper, because you say, no, he has attracted a lot of criticism and a lot of negative attention. People don't understand there's quite a big difference between what he's on stage and what he is in real life. And so he came out and had a bit of a dig of that with the song No More Mr. Nice Guy. This came from the band that I was in before he went solo. Came off their 1973 album $1 Billion Babies. Now, this is a lie. Now, this particular song is basically saying, I don't care what you think, I'm just going to do what I do because it's who I am. Most of the time we say stuff like, well, I'm just kind of, I want to do that stuff, but I think I won't because the world doesn't really want it. It's a bit hard and I'll be a bit uncool and I won't really find myself. And am I brave enough to do it anyway? What Alice Cooper is saying, no, I'm going to do it no matter what. I think we find in this world that those who have found success are ones that have actually gone to that point. They've crossed that line of average and conformity and gone into something different where they've really found their niche. I mean, people like Steve Jobs and Bill Gates, the Bee Gees, and this guy in particular, they have just said, no, we don't want to be like everybody else. We want to be our own person. And in that way, they create some distinctiveness about them. Not through saying, look at me, I'm distinctive, just by the fact that they just do what they do. And I think the challenge that Alice Cooper brings to all of us today is this: are you game enough to push it? Are you game enough to take it? Are you game enough to see how far you can take things? Are you game enough to do that? Because if you are, you're really going to find yourself, that is for sure. Alice Cooper has been one of these guys that has been able to do that, and through his absolutely shocking stage performances, he's really saying, look guys, this is me. I actually want to entertain you as well. I'm going to entertain you in this particular way. And he's obviously found success because he sold over 50 million albums. So there we go. It just goes to show what you can do if you're game enough to try and stand out on your own a little bit. This is the challenge of Alice Cooper today and this song, No More Mr. Nice Guy. So if you're really at that edge right now thinking, well, look, yes, I'm doing what I want to do, but can I just push things just a bit to see where it will take it? Or perhaps this video and the guy we're talking about today, Alice Cooper, might be just the one to actually help you to do that. So I trust that will be an encouragement to all who are watching this today. Well, on to the clips. So we do have No More Mr. Nice Guy. This is a live version. This came off the band called Alice Cooper from the 1973 Billion Dollar Babies album. So that one's there for you. And you'll see what I mean by his live performances, the way he looks, the whole thing. He's really just still doing it to entertain. Now, Alice Cooper, there's a bit more to Alice Cooper than just the shock rock stuff. He did get on The Muppet Show. Now, before you scoff The Muppet Show, if you were asked to be on The Muppets as a guest artist, you know you had made it. Now, Alice Cooper was asked to be on The Muppet Show in 1979, and The Muppets just really got along with the whole Alice Cooper image thing and really did a really good show that night. It would have been quite a game thing for the Muppets to have Alice Cooper on his show, but they did, and they did it really, really well. There's a particular clip where he's singing Schools Out. This is another song that came from the Alice Cooper band back in 1972. This is one of Alice Cooper's most well-known songs, and it was good to see him singing that with the Muppets on The Muppet Show. So that's a live version too of that. So I hope you enjoy that one. We also, when we talk about Alice Cooper, need to talk about the song Only Women Bleed. This came off the album Welcome to My Nightmare. This is the first solo album from 1975. This is a live version. Now, I'm just going to warn you, in typical Alice Cooper fashion, sometimes to really get a point across, and really what he's saying through this song is domestic violence is not a good idea. What he's actually doing is he's actually singing this from the context of someone who's actually doing the domestic violence, and there is a woman he uses on stage just to accentuate that a bit. The balance between the violence and the love and all of that, and just how much of a horrible situation it is to be in, particularly if you're a woman. Now, Australia is really and truly involved in this at the moment. I think the whole world is, because it's just gone a bit too far. That is for sure. There's just no excuse for domestic violence in this day and age. There really, really isn't. So that's a live version. And again, just be warned on that one. There's some confronting stuff in there in typical Alice Cooper style. I thought I'd just put in an interview with Rove McManus. This was from a talk show that he had back in 2009 in Australia. I was very fortunate to have Alice Cooper as a guest. And Alice had come out to do a bit of a tour in Australia. And so you just get to find out a little bit more about Alice Cooper and what makes his tick. So those 4 videos, the links to those 4 videos are in the description below. So feel free to click on them and have a bit of a look. Well, thank you, Grant, for this request today. It's very kind of you, and I enjoyed that conversation with you, I must admit. And I trust this has been good for you today. For those of you who have come along or are here for the first time, thank you very much for doing so, and thank you for hanging around to the end. This is a bit of a pause in the Life Reflections Through Music series that I'm going through at the moment. And so we'll be getting back to that next time. By all means, please note the invitation below that if you would like a request, feel free to chuck it in the comments below. And I'm more than happy to do that one for you. So until next time, I'll catch you around. Bye for now.